What's up? How's everybody doing?
Just curious, watching that tape and watching your group specifically, what was one thing that kind of jumped out to you about that performance? And then maybe just looking ahead, one thing that jumps out about Chicago that your unit's going to have to be really good about?
I think to start off with, would have definitely liked for guys to be a little bit more physical in the run game, that popped off of me. I think we got high standards, so I feel like just little details with all I know Chicago's probably do the same. All the different eye candy, the motions, turbo, shift, guys got to settle down, have poise, and, just get back to the fundamentals and the details. I can do a better job at, just making sure the guys have poise when all of the riff-raff happens, and they can just get back to doing the detail and the small little fundamental job that they're supposed to do, getting on and off of blocks.
You played through plenty during your career and know what it's like to kind of fight through something, but Jack played 100% of the snaps, then, missed that first practice. We see him, limping around a little bit out there yesterday. What was he kind of pushing through in that game? And I guess how valuable is that to you that, your leader is willing to fight through some of those things?
Jack, I think for the entire team, defense, offense, special teams, he sets the tone. It's a very physical game, and sometimes, Jack, he's so balls to the wall where sometimes I always have to tell him, like, hey, man, something doesn't feel good, whatever, he's always like, I'm good, coach, which you love the mentality. But the day off, for sure, it helped him. He's feeling better, things like that. He said he felt good in the Green Bay game and stuff like that, which is good. So excited to see him, work and improve and play even better than he did last week versus Green Bay.
You guys were without Derek Barnes for so much of last season. What does his presence and, I guess, diverse skill set allow you to do with him on the field?
D. Barnes, man, he's like a Swiss Army knife. He can rush the passer. He can play on the ball. He can play off the ball. He can play man coverage on the tight end, running back. Ecstatic that we have this guy back. He's when he's on the field, I say you feel his presence. You take 55 away from the field, you miss his presence. So very, very, very happy we have that guy back full and healthy.
How's Jack coming along as a pass defender?
Say what?
How's Jack coming along in pass coverage?
Oh, he's coming along great, man. Each year Jack has gotten better and better in that category. I'm going to keep challenging him. I know Shep's going to keep challenging him. Coach Campbell's going to keep challenging him. He's just getting better and better, and I love where he is right now.
Blitz your linebackers, I'd imagine you wanted a little bit more production from that regard on Sunday. What's the key to maximizing those opportunities for those guys?
The key to that is, football is it's 11 guys on the field, and everybody has to win their one-on-one, specifically talking about if there's Aiden Hutchinson, if there's Derek Barnes, if there's Jack Campbell, if we get one-on-one with the guy, it's important that we win. Why is that important? Because you look at, okay, Tyrion may give up a catch or DJ Reed may give up a catch, but if we send in somebody and he's one-on-one with a guy, on TV, they may see, TA gave up a catch or this person gave up a catch, but how we're scheming things up, we're saying that, okay, my guy is better than your guy, so we have to do a better job at, winning our one-on-ones. That's the name of the game, whichever team makes more plays, they're going to win the game. So we got to be better this week with that.
Sorry about that. What's the biggest challenge this week against a guy like Caleb we saw last week? Just his ability to extend plays, right? And maybe one of the better ones throwing the ball on the run. Just the challenge with that and it making plays with his legs too. What are the biggest principles you have to have? Not giving away game plan, obviously.
Right. So Caleb, man, very talented player, has a unique skill set, very elusive, very good at keeping his eyes down the field and stuff like that. Biggest thing, that the message to the guys, with the guy like that, the play is never over with. You can't never assume, where if he's in the pocket, out of the pocket, where we got to do a good job at not just grabbing, clawing with the jersey part, truly getting him on the ground. That's something that the tape shows it time and time after hand. So, we got to just do a good job at trying to keep him in the pocket or however. Biggest thing, get him on the ground.
I want to go back to the blitzing for a second. There was a couple times where Jack came and there was almost like he pumped the brakes as he was approaching the line of scrimmage. I know Shep talked about how proud he was of the guys for keeping Jordan in the pocket. I don't know if that was kind of the mindset there, was not letting that pass lane, but why is there maybe a discrepancy in the way Jack attacks a ball carrier runner versus the way maybe he blitzes?
I can't really answer that for you, but all I know is I know Jack could be better with whatever tape that you saw. I know, we got the Bears this week, and I know he always takes the challenges, and I know he'll be better this week. That's all I really can say about that.
Is that hard as a linebacker, particularly with a guy like Caleb, like just having that balance of full out going for it on the blitz and, being aware of the escape lanes? I
think, if you're blitzing, you're probably not so worried about the quarterback. You're worried about who's ever going to block me, if that's the running back, offensive line. I'm just figuring out the way how to, once I defeat that block, then, okay, I can get my eyes on the quarterback. But just talking about just a big perspective, like I just was reiterating, the biggest thing is going to be, making sure that, okay, we get this quarterback on the ground. You know what I mean?
It's early for you, but how are you settling into your new role?
Oh, it's been fun, man. It's great, having your own room, the grind is great. It's always even better, when you win, but which is good. Everybody can learn from it. I think the best thing that came out of that is, continue to tell the players, man, each week you got to reset, whether if you're 17-0, if you 0-1, whatever, nobody cares about how your last game was, which is why we have a great opportunity this week going against Chicago.
Trevor was banged up last week, obviously was out for the game, but seemed like he was making some really good progress all through camp, after his first taste of defensive action last year. Where did you see the biggest growth with Trevor?
Trevor, he's, his light years. It was year 3 for him in the league. Reminds me a lot like how Derek Barnes was. You can see the game slowing down for him. Really excelled in training camp. Love where he is. I hate that he had the injury. I think has grown even more as a true, off-the-ball linebacker, which I love, so I can't wait to get him back.
What is it about this team that sort of allows it to lock in after a loss?
You talking about our team? I think the biggest thing, man, is fundamental. I think that we've been fortunate enough to where we've had so much success, where I think, guys just assume that, we're going to win every game, and I think it's great because the 2025 team has a totally, completely different regime compared to the 2024 team. You got new coaches, you got new players and things like that, man. And, what other better way to, you get your butts kicked by, another NFC opponent, in the same division, and, you can regroup, go back to the safe house and, figure out, okay, why when coaches tell you have to do this, or, what's the important detail or this and that, for the players to hone in and see, okay, man, this is why we have to come ready to play. This is why the details are important when the coaches are emphasizing it, because we don't get the result that we want.
How would you assess the coverage of the linebackers and after week 1? And is there a player that you've seen that kind of make a lot of strides in that realm? In the coverage.
In the coverage?
Yeah, in the coverage, yeah.
You always, the competitor always wanted to be 100%. So we're always challenging those guys to be better in pass coverage. We got Chicago got good tight ends, just like Green Bay had good tight ends, so we got a good challenge ahead of us with Loveland and Cole Kmet. So, I'm excited. I think that we had a good week of practice, and I can't wait to see the guys go out there and compete.
Back to kind of what Colt asked, you guys haven't lost 2 in a row in a couple of years. I know you never like to lose, but how much of a point of emphasis is that right now, or has it been in the past, just to make sure that one doesn't turn into 2? There's no streak.
I think the biggest thing, that all of that stuff sounds good about, the keeping up with the we haven't done this in 30 years, 20 years, however long. I think the biggest thing, that the player just think about, get back to the fundamentals, the details. Okay, it could be 60 plays, it could be 50 plays. Take one play at a time. If you take one play at a time, and I do my job at an exceptionally high level, and as a collective, special teams, defense, offense, if we all can do that, man, we'll get the result that we want. So it's important that we just hone in on what's the task at hand, and not look at the record books or how long this and that. Just do what we got to do to make sure that, okay, 1 o'clock we ready to play.